Using specific language. Using specific language in descriptive writing helps give the reader a clear mental image of what something looks, feels, sounds, or smells like. Read the following examples. Which set of sentences has a stronger effect? General sentences. He bought a vehicle. We heard a noise. Suddenly I smelled food. Sentences with specific language. He bought a 1965 Cadillac. We heard the sound of breaking glass. Suddenly I smelled steak and onions. Let's continue. In the first group, the words are general and could not be used to describe a variety of vehicles, noises, or food. In the second group, the writer has replaced the general terms with more specific words like 1965 Cadillac, sound of breaking glass, smelled steak and onions. Specific language makes the topic specific and clearer for the reader. Practice. Identifying specific language. Exercise 3, page 40. Number 1, A and B. I'll read both examples for you in each of the questions, and then I will provide you with the answer. A. I like to wear my grandmother's jewelry. B. I like to wear my grandmother's pearl necklace. Which is more specific? B. I like to wear my grandmother's pearl necklace. Number 2. A. My best friend gave me a novel by Chang Ray Lee for my birthday. B. My best friend gave me a book for my birthday. Option A is more specific. My best friend gave me a novel by Chang Ray Lee for my birthday. Number 3. A. Someone lent her an umbrella. B. Her father lent her an umbrella. Option B is more specific. Her father lent her an umbrella. Number 4. A. I inherited some furniture. Or B. I inherited my grandfather's chair. The correct option, identifying specific language, is B. I inherited my grandfather's chair. Number 5. A. Steve has a new laptop. B. Steve has a new computer. The correct answer in identifying specific language is A. Steve has a new laptop. Number 6. Jordan received a toy. Jordan received a teddy bear. The correct answer for identifying specific language is B. Jordan received a teddy bear. Exercise 5, page 41. Underline 7 words or phrases that could be more specific. For each underlined word or phrase, write a question that could be asked to make the information more specific. We will cover this on the next slide. I'll read the paragraph for you. My lost treasure box. When I left my hometown, my relative gave me a special box. She said I could use the box to keep my special treasures. The box was made of a special material, and it was painted a bright color. When I opened it, it played a pretty song. I kept this box on my dresser, and I used it to store my things. Unfortunately, I lost my beautiful box when I moved to a different city, but I will always remember it and my relative who gave it to me. Now, for the underlined and highlighted words, we will look at a question that could be asked to make the information more specific on this slide. Number 1, what town did you come from? Number 2, who was your relative? Number 3, what was the box made of? Number 4, what color was the box? Number 5, which song did it play? Number 6, what did you store in the box? And number 7, where did you move? What do these questions correlate to? They correlate to each of the underlined words in this paragraph. Let's continue. Exercise 5, my lost treasure box. When I left Taif, my aunt gave me a special box. She said I could use the box to keep my special treasures. The box was made of cedar wood and it was painted bright red. When I opened it, it played a beautiful waltz. I kept this box on my dresser and I used it to store my photographs. Unfortunately, I lost my beautiful box when I moved to Jeddah, but I will always remember it and my aunt who gave it to me. Adjectives help to visualize the objects. For example, a bicycle. With the adjective, a racing bicycle. A desk. With the adjectives, a large metal desk. An adjective can come before a noun. If the noun is singular, we use a or an or the before the adjective. For example, I own an antique violin. What is the adjective? Antique. My mother gave me a big hug. And what is the adjective? Big. Adjectives have only one form. Use the same adjective with singular and plural. A lovely bracelet. 2 lovely bracelets. In this example, the adjective lovely is used with both the singular and plural form. An adjective can come after the verb be, and you should separate them with and. These shoes are comfortable. My father's expression is wise and serious. Nouns can also function as adjectives. In the following examples, the first noun describes the second noun. A rose garden. A pocket knife. When a noun comes as an adjective, it is always singular. 2 kitchen tables. Always singular. Not 2 kitchens, tables. This is incorrect. Exercise 1, page 44. Underline adjectives in the following sentences. I take care of my sturdy old bicycle. Number 2. I am fond of my houseplant. Number 3. It has broad green leaves and delicate white flowers. Number 4. I bought a straw hat at a music festival. Number 5. It was not expensive, but I liked it because it was practical and attractive. Number 6. I bought my mug at a small tourist shop at the Phoenix airport. Let's continue. Exercise 2, page 44. Change the following sentences by adding 2 or 3 adjectives to each one of them. Number 1. My umbrella is like a friend. Now we're going to add in all of these examples 2 or 3 adjectives. Let's take a look at number 1. My big black umbrella is like an old friend. Number 2. I love my bicycle. I love my red racing bicycle. Number 3. No one understands why I still wear my jeans. No one understands why I still wear my torn old jeans. Number 4. If I could only save one thing from a fire, it would be my chair. If I could only save one thing from a fire, it would be my big, comfortable reading chair. Number 5. The piano in my parents' house is located in the room. The baby grand piano in my parents' house is located in the living room. Number 6. My mother gave me her ring. My mother gave me her precious ruby ring. In all of these examples, the words highlighted in red are adjectives that we added to the sentence. Use the verb be to describe and define. Use the verb be to describe the subject of a sentence. You can use either a noun or an adjective after the verb be. You can use the verb be plus an adjective to describe conditions, physical characteristics, age, and personality. Let's take a look. Conditions: he is ready. Physical characteristics: I am strong. Age: my son is 6. Personality: Ali is handsome. Use be to describe and define. You can use the verb be plus a noun or a noun phrase to identify or define something, or to describe occupations and relationships. Let's look at the 3 key headings. Identifying. describing occupations, and describing relationships. Under identifying, we have he is ready. Under describing occupations, we can say he is a doctor. And under describing relationships, you can say we are classmates. In academic writing, the contracted forms of the verb be are not acceptable. Use the full forms of the verb in both affirmative and negative sentences. For example, they are, this is the contracted form, they're not responsible for the research. This is unacceptable. An acceptable version would be, they are not responsible for the research. They are is the full form of the verb be. Exercise 3, page 45. Fill in the blanks with the verb be plus an adjective. Please note, your answers will vary. This is only an example. Number 1, my teacher is creative. Number 2, my classmates are friendly. Number 3, my parents are intelligent. Number 4, my neighbors are helpful. Number 5, my cousins and I are athletic. And number 6, I am serious. Continued, exercise 4, page 45. Using the verb be with nouns. Answers will vary. Number 1, there is an inhaler for my asthma in my backpack. Number 2, there is a clock on my desk. Number 3, my father is a businessman. Number 4, someone who writes novels is a novelist. Number 5, there is a supermarket downtown. And number 6, someone who designs houses is an architect. Exercise 5, page 46, editing a paragraph for correcting mistakes in adjectives. Let's take a look. I have a new digital camera, and I am very excited about using it because it has so many features useful. That is incorrect. Let's continue with the correct version. Because it has so many useful features. I do not need to spend a lot of time focusing it. It has automatic focus. People do not have to wait a long time for me to take their picture. In addition, its lens is powerful. I can photograph a person and scenery, and both are clear when I print the finals pictures. Incorrect. And both are clear when I print the final pictures. Another feature allows me to delete pictures blurry. That is incorrect. Another feature allows me to delete blurry pictures. I save a lot of money because I do not have to print ugly pictures. I'm very excited about my new camera because it is convenient, easy. Nope, that is incorrect. I am very excited about my new camera because it is convenient and easy, and I can take interesting pictures with it. That is incorrect. And I can take interesting pictures with it. I expect to have a lot of fun with it. End of Unit 2. Effective academic writing. Unit 3. Example paragraphs. After completing Unit 3, students will be able to practice the pre-writing techniques, brainstorming and outlining. Use examples as supporting details. Identify specific examples. Make examples more specific by adding specific information. Write sentences using simple present tense. Practice subject-verb agreement in present tense. Edit a paragraph for correcting mistakes in the use of present tense. Example paragraphs. Writers use examples to help readers understand what they mean. A good example supports a more general idea with something specific. In this unit, you will write a paragraph that uses examples as supporting details. Model example paragraph. Bumping into Mr. Ravioli. My daughter Olivia, who is 3, has an imaginary friend whose name is Charlie Ravioli. Olivia is growing up in Manhattan, and so is Charlie Ravioli. He lives in an apartment. He eats grilled chicken, fruit, and bottled water. He is 7.5, and he feels he is old. But the most peculiar thing about Olivia's imaginary friend is this. He is always too busy to play with her. She holds her toy cell phone up to her ear, and we hear her talk into it. Ravioli, it's Olivia. It's Olivia, come and play. Okay, call me, bye. Then she shuts it and shakes her head. I always get his machine, she says, or she will say, I spoke to Ravioli today. Did you have fun, my wife and I ask? No. He was busy working on a television. Definition. An example paragraph gives examples so that the reader clearly understands the writer's ideas about a topic. There are three key areas, such as topic sentence, supporting sentences, and concluding sentence. Under topic sentence, the first sentence introduces the topic. It also includes the controlling idea or what the writer will say about the topic. The supporting sentences are the middle sentences that give examples that support the controlling idea. These examples give a clear picture of the writer's specific meaning. The last sentence of the paragraph restates the topic and what the writer has said about it. Read the student paragraph. Why is the title like a mule? The paragraph is about the author. The author is stubborn like a mule. Who in the paragraph is like a mule? The author of the paragraph is like a mule. Let's look at the model example paragraph, like a mule. I am a stubborn person. My friends and relatives are sure about this because they have experience with me. For example, I do not take advice from other people. When I was looking for work, I had to make a choice between two jobs. My mother and my husband wanted me to take a job in a child care center, but I did not like it. I was stubborn and I did not take their advice. I took a different job at a bookstore. Also, I do not change my mind easily. For example, when I bought my car, I wanted it in white. The car dealer had all the other colors, green, gold, blue, even red. I said no. And we went to a different dealer on the freeway about 50 miles away. They had the car in white. Now I am driving a white car. Also, I always defend my opinions. For example, I do not like the wife of my husband's friend. She is a mean person, and I told her what I thought of her, so we do not spend time together as couples. My life is not always easy, but I am proud to be a strong and stubborn woman. Exercise 4A, page 57. What are the three main ways in which the author is stubborn? She does not take advice, she does not change her mind easily, and she defends her opinions. Number 2. Why does the author say her life is not easy? Other people might get upset because she says what she thinks. Examine the organization of the paragraph by answering the following questions below. Exercise 4B, page 57. Question number 1. Circle the topic and underline the controlling idea. As we can see, the answer is I am a stubborn person. But what is the topic? It is I. And what is the controlling idea? Am a stubborn person. Question 2. Read the second sentence. What do you expect the supporting details to describe? The supporting details will give examples of ways that she is stubborn. Exercise 4B, page 57. Question 3. How many examples does the author give? She gives 3 main examples. She did not take advice about a job. She did not change her mind about the color she wanted, and she told her opinion of a woman she did not like. Write one example that shows the author's stubbornness. She insisted on buying a white car even though it was inconvenient, and she had to drive very far to get it. Do all the supporting sentences support the topic sentence? Yes. Question 6. Underline the concluding sentence twice. My life is not always easy, but I am proud to be a strong and stubborn woman. Question 7. What does the author add to the concluding sentence which is not there in the topic sentence? She tells her feelings about being stubborn. Question 8. In your opinion, does the author like being stubborn? Answer. The author likes being stubborn. She feels that it is a sign of strength. No one can make her change. Developing your ideas. Reading a model paragraph. Read this model paragraph. What is the game the author refers to in the title? The answer is soccer. Let's take a look at the model paragraph, My Game. I am an athletic guy. I like to watch sports on television, but I love playing sports even more. My favorite sport is soccer because it requires teamwork. I enjoy working with other players as a team. I am in 2 leagues. On both teams, I play forward because I am aggressive and can score goals. One of the leagues is just for fun, so I can mess around with my cousins and friends. The other league is more serious. I have to keep myself in good condition. There are regular practices and we work on special plays. Sometimes we travel to other cities in the state. I am also a student, so it is difficult to work around my school schedule. Basketball is fun, even though I am not so skillful. My friends and I joke while we play and have a good time. I also like swimming, but I do not swim in competitions. Mainly, I swim to stay in shape for soccer. Playing sports is the thing that I enjoy most, and I especially like soccer because I feel happy when my team and I play well together. Basketball is fun, even though I am not so skillful. My friends and I joke while we play and have a good time. I also like swimming, but I do not swim in competitions. Mainly, I swim to stay in shape for soccer. Playing sports is the thing that I enjoy most, and I especially like soccer because I feel happy when my team and I play well together. Exercise 2A, page 59. Respond to the paragraph by answering the questions below in full sentences. What is the author's favorite sport? And what do you learn about him as a player? The author's favorite sport is soccer, and we learn that he is an aggressive player and is good at scoring goals. Question number 2. Why does the author like soccer? He likes soccer because it requires teamwork, and he is good at it. Question number 3. What other sports does the author participate in? He participates in basketball and he swims. What examples does the author give that show how the 2 soccer leagues are different? He plays on one team to mess around with his cousin and friends. He plays on the other team to be a more serious player. Are you convinced that the author is athletic? Yes. He gives many examples of the sports that he enjoys. Examine the organization of the paragraph by answering the questions below on exercise 2B, page 60. Question number 1. Circle the topic and underline the controlling idea in the topic sentence. I am an athletic guy. The topic is I, and the controlling idea is am an athletic guy. Question 2. Read the second sentence. What do you expect the supporting details to describe? The author will give examples of the sports that he plays. Question number 3. Write one example that shows the author is athletic. Well, he is aggressive and can score goals when he plays soccer. Question 4. Do all the details support the topic sentence? Yes. Question 5. Underline the concluding sentence. Does it restate the topic? The answer. Playing sports is the thing that I enjoy most, and I especially like soccer because I feel happy when my team and I play well together. And this restates the topic. Yes. Question 6. What does the author add to the concluding sentence that is not in the topic sentence? He mentioned that he especially likes soccer. Effective examples have the following features. They are specific. They relate clearly to the controlling idea, and they do not simply restate the topic sentence. Read the following topic sentence. My mother topic is a good neighbor, controlling idea. The following sentence supports the controlling idea by giving specific examples, like, she always invites people from our neighborhood over for dinner. These sentences are not effective examples. She enjoys gardening. This is not clearly related to the controlling idea. She is a wonderful person to live around. This just restates the controlling idea. An example often begins with the phrase, for example, or for instance, followed by a comma. He likes to stay in shape. For example, he runs 6 miles every day before work. Sometimes writers use a semicolon to connect a general sentence with a specific example beginning with, for example, comma, or for instance. Our teacher is entertainment, semicolon, for instance, comma. Sometimes he uses puppets to teach grammar. Language focus using the simple present. Use the simple present tense to express habits and routines. Examples. I wake up at 6 a.m. every day. Also use the simple present to write about general truths and scientific facts. Babies are a great responsibility. This is a general truth. And the earth revolves around the sun. This is a scientific fact. Forming the simple present. When the subject is the first person pronoun I, we, second person pronoun you, or third person plural pronoun they, the boys, use the base form of the verb. For example, the students play football. When the subject of a sentence is a third person singular pronoun he, she, or it, a singular name, Ali, or a singular noun, my friend, the boy, add s or es to the base form of the verb. For example, Ali plays basketball. To form negative statements, use the following structure. Subject plus do or does plus not plus the base form of the verb. Let's take a look at an example. Elena, subject, does not go to school. Language focus, subject-verb agreement. A verb must agree in number with its subject. Consider the examples. We are tired. We is plural, so you must use the verb be in plural form, are. We is tired is incorrect because is singular form. In the first sentence, a plural verb form, are, follows a plural pronoun, we. This sentence is incorrect. Effective academic writing. Unit 4, Process Paragraphs. After completing Unit 4, students will be able to use brainstorming and outlining for collecting information for processing a paragraph. Practice time-order words in process paragraphs. Identify imperative sentences. Practice the use of imperatives in a process paragraph. Use modal verbs of advice, necessity, and prohibition. And edit a paragraph to correct mistakes in the use of imperatives and modals. A process paragraph explains how to do something step by step. The reader should be able to follow the steps to get a desired result. Stimulating ideas. Model process paragraph. How to fight off a shark. I'll read it for you. Most shark attacks occur near land, typically near or between sandbars where sharks feed. Attacks also happen in areas with steep drop-offs. Sharks gather in these areas because their natural prey is there. Almost any large shark around 6 feet or longer in total length is dangerous to humans. If a shark is coming towards you or attacks you, use anything you have in your possession to hit the shark's eyes or gills. These are the areas most sensitive to pain. Make quick, sharp, repeated jabs in these areas. Sharks are predators and will usually only follow through on an attack if they have an advantage. So making the shark unsure of its advantage in any way possible will increase your chances of survival. Contrary to popular opinion, the shark's nose is not the area to attack, unless you cannot reach the eyes or gills. Hitting the shark simply tells it that you are not defenseless. If a shark shows itself to you, it might just be curious and may swim on and leave you alone. If you are under the surface and lucky enough to see an attacking shark, then you do have a good chance of defending yourself if the shark is not too large. Exercise 4, page 78. Answer the questions below in full sentences. Question 1. You are swimming and you see a shark coming towards you. What should you do? You should hit it with anything you have. Question 2. What should you not do? You should not hit it in the nose. Question 3. When you are choosing a place to swim or scuba dive, what sort of places should you stay away from? You should stay away from sandbars or areas with steep drop-offs. A process paragraph describes the steps necessary to perform a process or task. Parts of a process paragraph. You have the topic sentence. The topic sentence introduces the process that the writer will explain. You have the supporting sentences. The middle sentences describe a sequence of steps that give detailed information about the stages of the process. These sentences may also give background details that help define the process for the reader or explain why this process is useful or necessary. Supporting sentences may also include the tools needed for the task. Concluding sentence. The paragraph ends with a concluding sentence that restates the topic sentence using different words. This sentence may also include a suggestion or warning to help the reader do the task more easily. Royalty in your garden. Let's take a look at the model process paragraph, royalty in your garden. I'll read the paragraph for you. Roses are royalty among flowers. Many people say they are as difficult to maintain as kings and queens. But roses are actually quite easy to grow. All you need is a shovel and a few simple steps. In fact, growing roses can actually be fun. First, go to a nursery to purchase the rose plants. You will probably see many beautiful varieties, but it is best to choose only 2 or 3 rose bushes to start with. You should also purchase potting soil and rose food. After you bring your rose plants home, look for a sunny spot in your garden because roses love sunshine. Then dig a deep hole with a shovel and add a little potting soil and rose food. Next, transplant your roses from the pot to the garden. Cover the roots with more potting soil and then give your new roses a big drink of water. As long as they have sunshine and water, your roses will stay healthy all summer. When the winter comes, your roses will lose their flowers and leaves and look dead. As a result, you might think about discarding them. Do not do that. Instead, this is the best time to prune them. Cut off the thin stems with garden shears so that the bush can become stronger the next spring. If you continue to take care of your roses in this simple way, they will produce beautiful flowers year after year. Exercise 4B, page 82. Examine the organization of the paragraph by answering the questions below. Question number 1. Underline the topic sentence. The topic sentence are, roses are royalty among flowers. Which of the following statements best describes the main idea of the paragraph? That would be B. Growing roses is easy. Question 2. Which of the following types of details does the writer include in the paragraph? He includes all of them. A. The tools that are necessary for growing roses. B. Warnings about what not to do while growing roses. C. Steps that the gardener should take when growing roses. And D. The results of the task. Underline the concluding sentence twice. If you continue to take care of your roses in this simple way, they will produce beautiful flowers year after year. The secret to a successful vacation. Let's take a look at a model process paragraph about the secret to a successful vacation. Imagine that you are on vacation at the beach, and you open your suitcase to discover that you have forgotten your swimsuit. This and other disasters and inconveniences can be avoided if you follow certain steps when packing your suitcase. The first step is to review your travel plans and activities. Make a list and save it so that you can check your items before you leave. Next, gather the items you will need for your activities. Remove any item that is not necessary. Try to mix and match fewer pieces of clothing and shoes by choosing a color or colors that match. Third, you are ready to pack. Start with large items such as books or shoes. Stuff your shoes with extra socks to save space. Then place shoes in plastic bags and fit them into the corners of your suitcase. There should be plenty of room for the clothes. To avoid wrinkles, layer your clothes and roll them up. Put the rolls of clothing into the suitcase. Then put in the smaller items. Finally, before you close your suitcase, check your lists. Make sure you have not forgotten your swimsuit. Many people like to swim while they are on vacation. It is worthwhile to take your time when you pack your suitcase, because a well-packed suitcase is the secret to a good travel experience. Exercise 2B, page 85. Examine the organization of the paragraph by answering the questions below. Question 1. Read the first 2 sentences. Which one is the topic sentence? Topic sentence. This and other disasters and inconveniences can be avoided if you follow certain steps when packing your suitcase. Question 2. Does the author give background information about why the process is important or useful? If so, what is the background information? Answer is yes. The author warns readers about what might happen if they do not pack carefully. Analyzing the model paragraph. Exercise 2B, page 85. Question 3. How many steps can you identify in the process? Let's look at the answer. 5. You want to review your travel plans and activities. Make a list. Gather your items, pack, and review your list. Let's take a look at question 4. Find one sentence that is unrelated to the topic and draw a line through it. That would be, many people like to swim while they are on vacation. This is unrelated to the topic. Question 5. Underline the concluding sentence twice. This is the sentence that you should underline twice. It is the concluding sentence. It is worthwhile to take your time when you pack your suitcase, because a well-packed suitcase is a secret to a good travel experience. So, does it restate the topic sentence? Yes. The writer suggests that a well-packed suitcase will help you have a good vacation. Time order words. Using time order words in process paragraphs. Time order words tell the order of steps in a process. You can use first and second to indicate the first 2 steps in a process. Use next, then, later, or after that to add more steps. Finally marks the last step in the process. First, make a list. Second, select your clothes. Next, place your shoes in the corners. Then, arrange your clothes in neat layers. Later, add last-minute items such as medications. After that, roll the clothes to avoid wrinkles. Finally, check your list for any forgotten items. Then is not followed by a comma. Connectors link 2 clauses together. Connectors like before and after can also function as time order words when they link 2 steps in a process. For example, before you close your suitcase, check your list. Begin packing after you have eliminated all unnecessary items. Invitation. Using time order words to identify the sequence of steps. Exercise 3, page 86. Number the steps in the following process. It is easy to have a good dinner party if you follow some easy steps. Number 1. Next, make a list of people that you would like to invite. After your house is clean, go shopping for food, flowers, and decorations. Then make a funny or pretty invitation and email it to your friends. Finally, turn on the music and wait for the fun to begin. Number 5. Before the guests arrive, decorate the house, set the table, and take a shower. After you have everything you need, plan a meal and make sure you can cook most of it before your guests arrive. A few days before the party, start cleaning your house. First, choose an appropriate date at least 2 weeks before the party. Marathon, as you can see in the picture. Practicing with time order words. Exercise 4, page 87. Fill in the blanks with appropriate time order words. One big challenge that many people like is running in a marathon. A marathon is a race that is over 26 miles, so it is very hard to complete the race. If you want to run the entire course, you have to train diligently. First, buy a good pair of comfortable running shoes. Then begin your running practice at least 6 months before you run the race. Try to run 3 to 6 miles at least 4 times a week. You must also stretch before and after a run to avoid tight muscles. After your body is accustomed to longer runs, you can work on your strength by doing sprints or short, fast runs. Later, lengthen your runs to 10 or 12 miles. Make sure you drink plenty of water when you go on longer runs because it is important for your muscles. When the day of the race is close, check your shoes. You might need a new pair. The night before you race, eat a lot of carbohydrates. They will give you energy for the big day. Finally, on the day of the race, get up early and drink plenty of water. You should feel confident, strong, and ready to go. Using imperatives. Use imperative sentences to give instructions, directions, or tell steps in a process. The verb in an imperative addresses the reader or listener directly. The imperative uses the base form of the verb. An imperative sentence does not require a subject, but the subject you is always implied. Example, hold the fishing rod gently in your right hand. Be quiet or you may disturb the fish. For a negative imperative, use do not. For example, Do not let your finger get caught in the string. Identifying imperatives, exercise 1, page 90. We have 7 different sentences here. Only 3 of them are imperatives. Let's go through each one. Number 1, buy a good quality tape. Number 2, it is important to start early in the morning to avoid the heat. Number 3, get down on your hands and knees and crawl under the smoke. Number 4, do not get chili powder in your eyes. Number 5, you should ask a professional to dispose of the used motor oil. Number 6, with your left hand, grab the red handle and pull it. Number 7, getting out of a traffic jam is not too difficult if you follow this procedure. The imperatives are number 3, 4, and 6. Modals of advice, necessity, and prohibition. Should and must are modal verbs. You can use modals to express advice, necessity, and prohibition. Modal verbs come before the base form of the verb. You should eat more vegetables. Eat is the base form of the verb and should is the modal verb. It comes before the base form of the verb. You must arrive by 8 o'clock. Arrive is the base form of the verb and must is the modal verb. You must arrive by 8 o'clock. Advice. In a process paragraph, use the modal should to offer advice, tips, and suggestions for being more successful. For example, you should remove all jewelry before working with clay. Necessity. Use the modal must to explain rules and laws that affect a process or to explain something that is absolutely necessary. For example, you must wear protective headgear when you compete. Use do not have to say that something is not necessary. You do not have to pay a fee to enter the museum. Prohibition. In negative statements of prohibition, use should and must with not, and the base form of the verb. You should not open the oven while the cake is baking. You must not drink alcohol. Imperatives. Should, must. Now let's correct the mistakes. There are 7 mistakes in the following paragraph. People who are serious about achieving better time management should following, no, should follow this procedure. It will help you to have more control over your time. First, you need to figure out how you actually spend your time. You make a list, make a list of all the things you do daily. Write down how much time you spend on each thing. Include activities like talking on the telephone or buying a cup of coffee. Your list will be quite long. Then find the activities that you can eliminate from your daily routine. It may be hard to give up a trip to the coffee shop, but you can do it. Effective academic writing. Unit 5. Opinion paragraphs. After completing Unit 5, students will be able to use brainstorming and outlining to write an opinion paragraph. Use reasons to support an opinion. Distinguish between fact, explanation, and experience in an opinion paragraph. Practice the use of there is and there are to introduce a fact. Use because of and because for giving reasons. And edit a paragraph for correcting mistakes in the use of there is and there are, and because of or because. Part 1. Stimulating ideas. Let's take a look at this beautiful picture. Stimulating ideas. Describe the picture you just saw. What kinds of natural beauty do you see? How might the natural landscape affect the people who live here? Would you like to live in a place like this? Why or why not? Opinion paragraph. City with a gray-green heart. I think of Seattle as having a gray-green heart. It is a city shaped by nature, a city of snow-covered mountains, sparkling glaciers, and blue lakes. It has been called America's most dynamic city, the #1 city of the future, and America's Athens by 3 major U.S. publications. But why has a town that is so far away from the nation's major power centers attracted so much attention? The answers may lie in Seattle's youthful energy and its scenery. Seattle began as a wild pioneer town. and its energy continues in vigorous political activity and in the quiet creation of more millionaires per capita than any other urban area in the United States. Through 6 generations of gold seekers, lumberjacks, teachers, fishermen, airplane builders, and software inventors, we all share the feeling that living here is an adventure. You would be hard-pressed to find a city as beautiful as Seattle. The Olympics and Cascade Mountains, Mount Baker and Mount Rainier, along with Lake Washington and Puget Sound, all offer spectacular views. The Space Needle pokes up over Queen Anne Hill, and the Lake Washington Canal shimmers across the narrow waist of the city. Because of this magnificent natural landscape, people are both calm and yet energized, as if they shared a feeling that Seattle is a place of unlimited possibility. Glaciers mean rivers of ice. Per capita means per person. Poke up means to stand. Lumberjacks are workers who cut down trees for wood. A pioneer is an early settler in a natural area. Hard-pressed is challenged. And shimmer means to shine with a soft light. Brainstorming ideas. Brainstorm a list of 3 places where you would like to live. Give 2 or 3 reasons for each one. Do this on your own piece of paper. You want to label 3 ideal places to live, and you want to give 2 or 3 reasons for each one. Choose the place that you would like to write about. Under different categories, write reasons for why you would like to live there. Attractions such as temperate climate, beautiful scenery, and interesting architecture. Opportunities such as low unemployment, excellent colleges, and world-class museums. Cost of living, such as inexpensive restaurants, convenient public transportation, and affordable housing. And people, such as talented cooks, diverse communities, and colorful personalities. Writing from brainstorming vocabulary. Select words from the chart above and use them to write 5 sentences about the place you would like to live. San Francisco has convenient publication. Please begin this exercise on your own piece of paper.